Hello there. I wanted to make a quick video, I guess, about the Mandela Effect. I normally don't make Mandela Effect videos because it's not easy to vet this topic. So before we proceed, a little backstory on this topic of the Mandela Effect and how it revolves around particle accelerators like the one in my hometown, not to mention the big one in Switzerland known as CERN.
CERN, a nuclear research facility, the Large Hadron Collider is a 17-mile circular tunnel buried 500 feet beneath the border of France and Switzerland that uses powerful magnets to collide subatomic particles at incredible speeds. Some believe CERN is responsible for what is known as the Mandela Effect. From its location on a former temple to Apollo, to statues of the Hindu god of destruction, strange rituals, and bizarre videos. Today, thousands of people have the strange feeling the world we currently inhabit has changed. They point to specific names, events, and things they insist are now different. The growing phenomena took off online, earning the moniker the Mandela Effect. The phenomena was first noted in 2009 by paranormal investigator Fiona Broom and gets its name from the African civil rights leader Nelson Mandela, who many remember as having died in the 80s, only to learn to their dismay that their memories were false and he actually lived to be released from prison and become president of South Africa. A Mandela Effect is when collective memories long held by masses of people turn out to be incorrect or false. Those affected have distinct memories of something or an event, only to find out that it never was that way. So what does all this have to do with CERN and the Large Hadron Collider? Could the experiments taking place there have inadvertently or even deliberately messed with our space-time? November 2014, a weird video featuring CERN scientists and students dancing along to the song Happy by Pharrell was uploaded to YouTube. But it wasn't until much later that the video sparked a flurry of controversy and speculation among the Mandela Effect community. One scientist in particular, John Ellis, a renowned physicist, is seen with two signs around his neck, one that reads Bond Number 1. The other clearly has Mandela on it. Researchers theorize that the sign that says Bond Number 1 is a sly reference to the actor that played James Bond in the first Bond film, a man named Barry Nelson. When put together, the signs equal Nelson Mandela. It is important to note that this video was made in 2014, before the Mandela Effect gained notoriety online. If that is just a coincidence, it's a very eerie one.
Now, obviously I have some strong opinions about it. I do not think it's parallel universes slamming into each other. I believe in God's enclosed earth, this one place, whatever it is, God's terrarium, and the idea that they're changing things in the Matrix, not this whole parallel timeline thing. And my reasons for that I go into in my other videos. This is my 6th Mandela Effect video, so you can go back and look at those other ones. I made one talking about the Bible verses. I made one talking about how X-Files has been punking us for 20 years. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about is the University of Saskatchewan, my alma mater, has a particle accelerator. The University of Saskatchewan Particle Accelerator Laboratory is a linear accelerator facility on the University of Saskatchewan campus in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. The facility was constructed in 1962 at a cost of $1.7 million under the direction of Leon Katz. This whole particle accelerator thing, why does it interest me, or why do I bring it up? Because this Mandela Effect thing, I guess I just wanted to talk about a personal Mandela Effect. And is it possible that this particle accelerator in Saskatchewan may have facilitated it? Keep in mind, this is Canada's only particle accelerator. The only one in Canada, and it's in my hometown, in my university, my alma mater. That's not creepy or anything. Now, the theory goes is when they fire these photons of light and the accelerator, they speed up, they go in circles around this thing until finally they collide, and then they measure the velocity, they measure the impact, they measure the explosion. They think it can help them study the origins of the Big Bang. Well, the Big Bang's a load of bollocks, but the alternative motive of this thing is people are theorizing they're punching holes in the fabric of reality, making portals. Other people theorize that they use it to actually time travel. I don't necessarily believe in time travel. I think if it's possible, only energy could travel through time. Physical matter would be reduced to atoms almost immediately. But the thing about this that creeps me out, and I remember bike riding over where they're rebuilding it, and the thing that creeps me out about this is, being that it's Canada's only particle accelerator, I remember around 2009, all this Ephraim Awakening, Truther Movement thing started getting really big. But recently with the Mandela Effect, I had a discussion with my family, we'll call it, where I discovered that apparently some birthdays had changed. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, when I was young, I always remember, I'm not going to say who, a couple members of my family, I always remember their birthdays being in July. And then after having a discussion with my family in the last year or two looking into Mandela Effect, I was told their birthdays aren't July, they're August. Now, the number one counter-argument to the Mandela Effect is the idea that people are just remembering things wrong. I mean, Bernstein Bears. Interview with a vampire, interview with the vampire. Sex in the City, Sex and the City. I mean, these little changes in the matrix that they're making, whatever. They're saying that people are just remembering things wrong. Well, in this case, I remember my whole life these people's birthdays being in July. And then now I'm being told they're in August. Obviously, it's just a speculation thing, but I'm wondering if it has anything to do with the fact that I grew up in the same town as Canada's only particle accelerator. Now, when you look into the Mandela Effect, you realize that a lot of it, to people who are on the outside looking in, it seems insane. But when you study quantum mechanics and advanced physics, you realize that it's very possible to quote-unquote change things in the matrix. The idea that they smash these atoms together and it punches a hole or a portal in the fabric of space, and that some people even believe that they use that to actually bounce time. Again, I don't necessarily buy that. I think the idea that on a subatomic level, all matter exists in a quantum state as quarks. And so is reality created by consciousness, this fallen world? As a Christian, I believe we are trapped in a fallen world because of Satan's interference in the garden. But is there a nature to not the holographic universe or the simulation that some people push, but the idea that matter is held together by the electromagnetic field, and as such, can this reality be altered on a subatomic level? Like, there are particles that only exist when observed, and that's not creepy or anything, but the idea that if they could change things in the matrix, why would they do it, or this, that, or anything? I mean, this is why I don't make a lot of Mandela Effect videos, because it's all speculation. But I just wanted to actually make this video about the particle accelerator. It's funny, you know, I almost completely forgotten about this thing. I had been thinking about it a while ago. Then I was reminded about the Mandela Effect by a YouTuber named Meegs-B, who recently I just friended on Facebook. I saw some of her videos. I salute. But it got me thinking about this place. And it creeped me out because it makes me wonder what else is going on at the University of Saskatchewan. The public face of this project is that they're using it to study the nature of light, the speed of light, or Big Bang, but again, this is all speculation. I'll try to find some good sources for the Mandela Effect and link them in the description section below. But I guess, I don't know, this video isn't really, I guess, about anything or even really about Mandela Effect. It's just more about the fact that this is the only particle accelerator in Canada, and I grew up sitting on top of it. Yeah, I don't know. My life is filled with craziness, Masonic, satanic ritual abuse, my third-level father and my psychopath 33rd-level grandpa. And then I find out about this. My whole life feels so orchestrated half the time. I pray Yahshua Jesus protect me from all this crap. But the idea of the Mandela Effect, I know a lot of people freak out with the topic of Bible verses changing. But I've made other videos about that, and like I says, the Word of God is written on our hearts, not in some book, some object in this fallen world. So I don't know. I just thought this was interesting. There's a particle accelerator where I grew up. And look at all these citations. These poor scientists, they honestly think black holes are real, and they honestly think the Big Bang is real. I pray for them all to look into the electric universe model and to understand that black holes are not tears in space-time. They're supercharged clouds of plasma, oppositely charged, slamming into each other at a medium pace. And that when people see the gravimetric wave distortions, or whatever you want to call it, from black holes as they theorize, their observations are correct, but their conclusions are insane. They conclude that it's a tear in space-time, when in reality it's just clouds of plasma. But, again, around the same time I was born, they started building this thing and using it hardcore. This is a whole nother piece of the puzzle coming in on my chaotic, crazy little life. So, I don't know. Research the Mandela Effect, look into it. Like I says, I'll put some citations in the description section below. And in the end, it helps to study the technology, what these particle accelerators are. And I'm no engineer. Like I says, I studied theoretical physics. I can't even do the advanced calculations anymore. It's been too long. I've brained my damage since university. You know, I'm more of a sociologist with, you know, a passion for physics and sciences of all kinds, but I'm just a dropout. I never claimed to, you know, have a degree or any of that stuff. I'm just a dropout, like I says. But I didn't leave my brain at the university, and whilst I'm fascinated by this topic, even I need to learn more, because the engineering side of it, the actual technology, I don't know much about it. My grandpa and my dad, they were the genius engineers. My speciality is sociology and understanding how people work, understanding why people do the things they do. So, I don't know. Just an interesting idea. The idea that they could be altering things in the Matrix. Like I says, I pray for all these scientists to look into the electric universe model, albeit Dr. Wallace Thornhill is still stuck in a heliocentric universe. I pray that everyone understands that we are in a geocentric universe, but again, whatever. Interesting topic, but nearly impossible to vet. So I'll just say, peace out, baby.